Many thanks indeed for joining us. Now this is the news in detail. This week, Rwanda will host the 46th conference of the ministers from member states of the International Organization of La Francophonie, a meeting that will take place here in Kigali on Wednesday and Thursday. Officials in the country's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation have confirmed that preparations of this mega conference are in their final stages and that participants have already begun arriving in the country. This meeting is taking place 30 years after the Beijing conference that addresses women's empowerment. This is why the theme of this 46th conference of the ministers of the OIF member states will be 30 years after Beijing, the role of women in Francophonie. Officials in the organization have stressed that in their activities they place emphasis on women and youth, supporting them in advancing their development. Now, the Minister of Health has announced a recent rise in influenza cases, saying the usual rate has increased by 20%, and authorities anticipate it might go even higher. Citizens have been advised to take preventive measures and seek treatment early, as the high fever caused by the flu infections can be life-threatening for some people. We do have details. In recent days, many people have been suffering from flu, in some instances developing high fever that forces them to seek medical treatment. Some participants in the CAF Freedom Mass sports activities say that this regular physical exercise helps them better cope up with such illnesses, as it strengthens their bodies, and even those who fall sick recover without severe complications. I have been following instructions from my doctor, and I can confirm that doing sports can help you beat some diseases without even having to take medicine. Before I started exercising, I had issues with prolonged headaches and my legs would hurt quite frequently. Then my family started encouraging me to exercise and I slowly started loving it too. The Minister of Health, Dr. Saben Sanzmana, says that across the country, flu cases have increased by 20% in healthy facilities and that this number may continue to rise.
We see this trend in rainy season that the virus increases because people spread through direct contacts. It's important to ensure that you don't pass the virus to your colleagues, especially in schools. Under 5 children are most concerned because they can develop the virus, but also the bacteria infection, and lead to pneumonia, which makes the healing complicated. So we've seen an increase of more than 20% in our pediatric department for hospital admissions, particularly for these upper respiratory infections that are linked to this virus. So we urge families with children who are presenting this flu-like syndrome to ensure that their children are taken to care as early as possible, but also to not send them to school before they clear the virus, for them to recover, but also for their colleagues at school, for other children to not be infected. So that will help us to manage this peak season.
Medical experts point out that influenza is one of the illnesses that can severely affect people living with non-communicable diseases such as diabetes. Participants in the mass sports event held at Kigali Independent University were screened and given advice on how to prevent diabetes. Tracy Mutesi, who founded an organization that supports diabetes patients, says those who are found to have symptoms or indicators of diabetes will be referred for follow-up by medical professionals.
Came into the sports today to encourage people. We have been screening the risk of type 2 diabetes using the BMI. So we've identified people who are at risk, and we've worked with a data collection center from Kagugu. They've collected some data for some people who are at risk. So the people who've just done testing, those ones who are at risk, we've already referred them to Kagugu Center The data manager is there. He's been correcting data. They've taken their measurements, and we've explained to them what they can do to reduce. Within 6 weeks, we shall follow them up. We see if they've reduced, and then those ones who are diabetic or pre-diabetic, they are going to reverse. They're going to reverse it because they will be using exercise. They've already got advice from our nutritionist and the doctors who are on site.
The mayor of Kigali, Dusengiyumva Samuel, says that sports activities have now become well established and are yielding positive results, helping build a healthy population in the city of Kigali.
turishimira ubwitabire ubona bugenda buza kandi n'abantu babikora babishaka icyakaye no kubona n'abantu bakuru
We are happy with the turn up at the car-free day. You notice that people are slowly turning up and loving exercising. Parents bring their children, we have people walking, others jogging, and some cycling, and others engaging in sports through traditional dancing. We also have open space gyms and many other activities. On this note, I want to remind you that we have running tracks like the one of Nyarutarama and the one in Chimihura, and we are going to establish another one in Rebero and around Pere Stadium so that we can be in a health city with health and fit people. Residents are encouraged to wash their hands frequently with clean water and soap. For those with flu, to wear a mask, and for everyone to seek medical care early. Regarding non-communicable diseases, people are urged to get regular checkups, watch their diet and lifestyles, and monitor their overall health status. Let's now go to Rusizi, where various leaders have joined residents in Rusizi district in a mass sports activity aimed at fighting non-communicable diseases, including diabetes. And the occasion was used to mark the International Day for Diabetes Awareness Campaign, and residents received free screening for non-communicable diseases to assess their health status. It was decided that the sports program, bringing together leaders and residents, will take place twice a month in all sectors of Rusizi district, and residents will receive healthy services, including screening to know their health status. As global campaigns to prevent and fight diabetes continue, Rwanda has also intensified its efforts with activities ongoing in all districts of the country. World Diabetes Day is observed on the 14th day of November every year, and according to data from the Rwanda Biomedical Center, back in 2022, around 3% of people in the country were found to have the symptoms of diabetes. However, although the number of those affected continues to rise, Rwanda's health authorities indicate that the figures are not excessively high compared to data from the past 10 years. They nevertheless stress the need for people to strengthen preventive measures so that the number of diabetes cases and other non-communicable diseases can decrease. Cardinal Antoine Kambanda has called for reconciliation to be rooted in acknowledging the crimes committed by inmates in his remarks during a mass held in Nyarugenge Correctional Facility. Adams Kwizera was there and has the full report.
Some inmates at Nyarugenge Correction Facility says that the religious preachings help them to find spiritual renewal and develop the willingness to ask forgiveness from those they wronged. Cardinal Kambanda also noted that reaching out to inmates and providing them with spiritual guidance helps them to regain their sense of dignity and feel valued. The spokesperson of the Rwanda Correctional Service, CSP Hira Sengabo, said that these activities further create space for reflection and for inmates to seek forgiveness from the people they harmed.
First of all, practicing religion is one of the fundamental principles and rights that governs the imprisonment. So today we have received the Cardinal for supporting the inmates to practice and pray so that they can be rehabilitated. Because Catholic and other religion organizations, they are stakeholders and partners in terms of rehabilitation. So today we have received the Catholic Church in that regard. Yeah, it is a spiritual healing whereby the programs for rehabilitation goes smoothly once one has that spirit of gospel and religion faith-based. So it is like a support to run smoothly rehabilitation programs that the they are pursuing.
During the Mass, Cardinal Antoine Kambanda also administered the sacrament of confirmation to 34 inmates.
Now, the Higher Education Council has urged more than 700 students, including nearly 100 international students, who graduated from the Adventist University of Central Africa on Sunday, to make good use of the knowledge they have gained and to be confident enough to compete on the labor market. The students focused on disciplines such as information technology, education, nursing, and midwifery, among others. Both bachelor's and master's degrees were awarded. The university's leadership asked the graduates to align their knowledge with values in order for it to benefit them.
Whether you further your studies near or far, please remember moral value will count in everything you will be doing. You may be immediately employed and soon promoted. The employment would delay a little bit. In all circumstances, remember to be good ambassadors of the government and this institution that laid a stone for your great success.
Now, the Director General of Higher Education Council, Dr. Edward Kadozi, urged the graduates of AUCA to be fearless, to innovate, and to strive to make use of technology.
Expanding your skills, pursue further studies, stay curious. The most successful people are those who never stop learning. In this dynamic environment, the strength of your education lies not only in what you know, but in how you think, how you act, and how you serve. Do not fear failure. Setbacks are not endings, they are lessons. Every successful person has faced failures. What matters is the courage to rise, to learn, and to keep moving.
Now, this university was founded in 1978, and this is their 31st graduation ceremony that the university has held. Moving on, the Rwanda Correctional Services says it continues to strengthen its programs aimed at equipping inmates with vocational and technical skills to ensure they reintegrate into society with the ability to create jobs and improve their livelihoods. We do have details. We were introduced to an inmate we will call Rafiki. After being convicted of drug-related offenses and sent to Nyarugenge Correctional Facility in Mageragere, he immediately began taking language courses, including English and Swahili languages. He now speaks fluently. Thank you. First, I want to greet all Rwandans. I greet my family, my siblings. I also greet my neighbors, whom I have not seen for many days. And I greet everyone who is listening to me. Other inmates have trained in tailoring, mechanics, computer skills, hairdressing, and many others. They say that once they complete their sentences, the skills they've gained will help them rebuild their lives and avoid falling into poverty. My sentence was 8 years, but I'm left with 1 year and 2 months. I was fortunate enough that I was able to learn 2 vocational skills here. I learned hairdressing and tailoring. After I've served my sentence, I am sure these skills will support me, even those I'll find out. I belong to the ICT team. I've learned Photoshop and photo editing. Once I'm out of this place, I plan to start my own studio. I'll be doing wedding photography as I plan to establish bigger projects. In one of the garages located in Rwezamenyo sector, Nyamirambo, we met Harerimana Ali, a former inmate from Mageragere who gained practical skills in automotive mechanics while serving his sentence. He says the skills are now his source of livelihood. When I finished my sentence, I found an employment opportunity immediately I got out. I have a family of 6 children. These are in school, and I pay their tuition well. In this work, I was also able to buy myself a house. I'm grateful to the government. The spokesperson for the Rwanda Collectional Service, CSP Sangano Hilary, says the vocational training program is one of the pillars of the collectional philosophy. He explains that these skills empower inmates to sustain themselves once they return to their communities. Whoever comes in here is trained. We work on both their discipline but also their skills. We have computer science classes, vocational skilling training courses, and reading and writing classes, and others. At Nyarugenge Collectional Facility, about 700 inmates learn literacy, reading and writing every year, while another 700 undergo vocational and technical training every 6 months. Overall, this initiative aims to ensure that inmates do not return to crime, but instead reintegrate into society as productive and self-reliant citizens. We now take a short break and return with more news.
Every journey has a beginning. From nature comes refreshing fruity goodness that keeps you going every day. With every pack complementing life's best moments. Not 1, not 2, but 5 different fruity flavors. And this journey keeps giving. Introducing Inyange's new fruity juice flavors, guava and cocktail. Now available at your nearest shop. Always ask for Inyange.
Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo wagira umukamo mwinshi utunze inka imwe. Ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi hari abamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho. Ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. Njya muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza naturuka mu muryango wifashije. Ariko byarangiye nanditse amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema. Ariko narabishoboye. Hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abankomokaho. Ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye ziba impamo. Bigereho.
Well, with this report, we come to the end of tonight's bulletin. I'm William Evans, and from me and the entire team, have a good night and a great week ahead. Goodbye.